Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's session. We're very excited to take you through Foundation Source's offerings. My name is Heather Rodriguez, and I'm a business development rep for Foundation Source. I support Justin Murphy, who I'm accompanied with today. Justin is a senior managing director in our Mid-Central region. I would like to go over some housekeeping before we get started. We welcome any questions you may have, but please feel free to enter those questions into the chat box during the demonstration. We will gather all questions and circle back with you to get those answers to you. Also, today's session will be recorded and you will receive it after we conclude. Justin, I'll hand it over to you so we can begin.
Thank you so much, Heather. Appreciate everybody being here. As Heather said, my name is Justin Murphy. I am located outside of Philadelphia. I run what we call the Mid-Central region here. I've been with the firm for almost 10 years and practiced law prior to that, and we really appreciate you taking the time to learn more about philanthropy in general, Foundation Source specifically. This is being recorded, so if you have colleagues that might want to take a look at this or benefit from it, please feel free to share it. We have a wide-ranging audience here as far as the audience type and also your involvement and familiarity with philanthropy. So at times we'll kind of be a little more basic. At times we can get a little bit more specific. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in with things. And, you know, a lot of craziness has been going on in the world the last few years. It's very important to remember that despite everything, we are an incredibly charitable country. As you can see, giving has increased ninefold over the past 40 years from $50 billion to $450 billion annually. Giving is definitely on the rise. I can speak from experience during the pandemic. We had just a phenomenal number of people coming out of the woodwork wanting to set up new foundations, trying to help out their local communities, because obviously with the flexibility that a foundation affords of being able to give to, you know, not just US-based organizations, but helping out, you know, individuals directly, that was very attractive to people. At some level, speaking to the advisory members in the audience, you know, at some level, wealthy people are involved in philanthropy at some level, be it through checkbook philanthropy, through their own donor advised fund, a trust, CLT or CRT, or through a foundation. So we've seen that 88% of affluent houses are giving to charity in some capacity. So that's a great piece of data. And it's nice to know that people are thinking outside of themselves in times of great stress. And that's, in fact, the time that we need to reach out to others the most anyway. Through philanthropy, it provides a framework for families and companies. We work with not only families, but also a number of corporations that you would recognize in setting up their philanthropy programs as well. It helps families bond as far as common goals and passions. We have so many great stories of our clients and the things they're doing with their foundation specifically. So, you know, it might be grandma and grandfather's foundation, and instead of giving toys or what have you at the holidays, they'll give a grant certificate to the family foundation, to the younger ones, and they can go and research charities they're interested in. We can actually have the check delivered to the family, and they can hand deliver it and meet the individuals that they're working with. We have a couple families that I tell this story all the time, so people in the audience who have heard this, please indulge me, but they have the little, you know, sports trophies we all got as kids, and the families will gather together for the holidays, and you know, the kids will tell what I did with my $500 check from the family foundation, and they'll compete for that, and the parents or the grandparents will award that to the child who made the most you know, impactful presentation. And you talk about lasting impact on children. They think about those things and start to expand outside of their own needs to what other people might be experiencing and people in need. So in addition to working across generations, families, we have all different size families and types of foundations. Some of them don't get along, and the only time they kind of coalesce together is when they have to talk about what they're going to give from the family foundation, and that, you know, keeps them in contact with each other, hopefully improves those family relationships, improves leadership skills. So a lot of our younger foundation board members will learn investment management skills and, how to do charity research and things like that, and develop that maybe into a career or use it into their later lives. And again, building a legacy. That's the main reason a lot of people set up a family foundation, is establishing a legacy. It's not something you can really do with other vehicles like a DAF, donor advised fund. It is meant to be passed down to further generations. So even, generation 3 that you maybe haven't even met yet. So it's a great vehicle for that, and something to definitely talk about with your family and advisory groups. Here at Foundation Source, we've been around for more than 20 years. We're the #1 provider of foundation management services. To toot our own horn a little bit here are some of the awards that we've received, not just for our advisory team, our offerings, but also our technology. So we're very proud of that. We take it very seriously. And as a leader in this space, we're often seen as the one to follow. So I'll pass it back over to Heather at this point.
Thanks, Justin. Foundation Source is the nation's largest provider of management solutions for private foundations. We were founded in 2000, and although we're headquartered in Fairfield, Connecticut, we do have a national footprint. We currently administer over 2,000 private foundation clients. We have about 200 employees with a 97% client satisfaction. We have over 12,000 professional advisor relationships, administered $21.5 billion in foundation assets, and currently have over 8,000 users of Impactfully, which is our purpose-built software, as well as facilitated 420,000 grants totaling nearly $10 billion in charitable aid. Next slide. Our mission is to empower people and companies to create a better world with their philanthropy through a configurable suite of administrative, compliance, technology, and advisory services for private foundations. We have purpose-built tools that help investment professionals serve and coordinate with their charitable clients. And as a result of that, better run foundations with greater social impact. How do we support philanthropists and professional teams? By partnering with us, you have access to a suite of configurable products, services, and applications to optimize private foundations. With operational efficiency, you have accounting and tax support, compliance monitoring, transaction processing, our purpose-built technology for grant making, reporting, and collaboration tools, as well as charity research. And lastly, philanthropic advisory with custom engagements, expert guidance, and comprehensive support.
Thank you, Heather. So why work with Foundation Source? So be it a brand new foundation that you're setting up and you're new to philanthropy, or a foundation that's been in operation for generation over generation, we can assist you and help you either focus on your philanthropy and be more mindful of what you're doing. Or we also have a lot of clients that they want to be philanthropic, but they have to focus on either their family or their business. So we basically are in the background running the foundation, and they can focus on those other things. And when it's time to make the grants, they can pop back in. And a lot of times that's for their future job is going to be focusing on the foundation. But for the time being, they don't have the bandwidth to do it. So we're more than happy to help out with all those back end things. Speaking as an attorney myself, peace of mind is a huge thing with a foundation. There are a lot of compliance issues with foundations, a lot of regs through the IRS that you have to be mindful of. A lot of people who come to us with their foundation through no fault of their own, they've given a grant to an organization they shouldn't have, or something has gone wrong. So peace of mind, knowing that we're compliance monitoring is a huge thing for us. We're keeping an eye on what the foundation is doing and letting you know what the rules are. They're constantly shifting. We have an incredibly knowledgeable team of CPAs and attorneys to make sure you're doing everything right. And again, customized support, convenience, having the confidence that you're doing everything that you can to make an impact with whatever charity or organization you've chosen to work with. And also, it's just a great community. As Heather mentioned, I think it's probably closer to 3,000 clients we have now, assets ranging from billions to less than $1 million. It's an amazing community. We have the facility to have our clients can contact each other, bounce ideas off each other, and frankly brag about something that went really well, or be fully upfront. We tried this program, and it just did not work out. So it's an amazing group of people. It's an amazing community. And that's something we can help facilitate with your either new foundation or your existing foundation that's been running for a long time. So part of my job is I used to run our West Coast office, and I'm here on our East Coast office. And it matters not where I am. I hear the same thing all the time. There's this preconceived notion about the amount of assets you need in a foundation to start it. Here we have 3 to 5 million. I've heard 10. It's really all over the map. And the caveat would be that may be accurate if you're not using Foundation Source, because you would need to dedicate time and expenses and assets to run the foundation and hire individuals and professionals to help you run it. So 3 to 5 million is a common one that I hear. It doesn't make sense for me to do this. Well, in reality, 67% of all foundations are started with assets of $1 million or less. And that's not just the Foundation Source world, that's the philanthropy world in general. Whether that's a starter amount for the foundation or they're going to keep it around that level, we are seeing a lot of smaller foundations being created, which reasons we'll go into later, but basically a lot of flexibility with your philanthropy and things you just can't do with a donor advised fund or other types of charities. Also hear quite a bit that they're very difficult and expensive to set up. Again, that can be the case. Here at Foundation Source, we're able to set up a foundation in a pinch in 3 to 5 days. We do a lot of our work here in the fourth quarter for various obvious tax reasons, liquidity events. So we can deliver on that as long as the client has their ducks in a row as far as, the amount that they want to put into it and things like who they want to sit on the board. We can discuss those, but there definitely is time to do this before the end of the year. We're having lots of conversations with people, and sooner, the sooner the better, as we can have those conversations. But we are forming foundations, early to mid-December. So it's good to know it's very simple to set it up the way we do it. Also, the misperception of it being a burden to operate and the need for staff and infrastructure. Again, we can set it up very quickly, handle all of the back end operations for the foundation, from tax, grant making, philanthropic advisory. Literally, the one thing we don't do is the money management piece of it. So we work closely with the financial advisors on this call, or for the individuals themselves with your advisory team. They handle all of that, but we're capable of taking care of the rest of the foundation's needs. That being said, I really want to leave with the idea of this is a very customized and white glove solution. So no two foundations look exactly the same. If we do have clients that they reach out to us once a year, they're busy. So at the end of the year, they tell us where they want the money to go. And we're obviously proactively running the foundation throughout the year. But we also have clients that are deeply involved, and they have quarterly meetings with their team. They're doing, coat drives, soup kitchens, hands-on types of philanthropy that we assist with as well. So we serve all those different types of clients. So at Foundation Source, we showed you the various awards that we've won. We are very much in the business of modernizing private foundations. I know this for a fact because I've worked with some of these clients. They send in their receipts and their expenses in a shoebox, and that's the way they've been running their foundation for years, through spreadsheets and things like that. So they really enjoy the ability to digitize those things, make it much easier. We have clients that are disparately located throughout the world, so the ability to get on our technology platform and engage with everyone, having all of the foundation documents, the articles of incorporation, the trust document, the names and contact information for the charities they work with, the tax, ID number, all those sort of things. So we pride ourselves on modernizing the foundation setup, making it very easy to use, also with the support of real people behind the scenes helping run the foundation too. So taking away the grunt work of doing manual grant processing or navigating through the regulatory environment that, again, is constantly changing. We are here to be the experts in that space, make it as simple and as technologically feasible as possible. We're running real-time compliance checks for our clients. So I kind of liken what we do a little bit to being a firewall between the family and their own foundation. So we're here to make sure that the grants coming out of the foundation are going to vetted organizations, and that's important for US-based organizations, but also very important with international orgs because there's extra steps that need to occur there. So we're doing all that work for them to make sure when they put their head on the pillow at night, they know the foundation is in good hands and everything is being done pursuant to the ever-changing rules. So Foundation Source provides a mix of leading technology pieces plus industry experts. As you can see here, our technology, our philanthropic expertise, and the administrative services we provide. So I'll talk about that just briefly. Let's talk about our technology first. We pride ourselves in the amount of investment that we put into the technology and making things seamless, streamlining things for our clients. As you see here, we recently launched a product we're very proud of called Impactfully. It's a cloud-based SaaS platform. For those of you not familiar with the concept of SaaS, that's software as a service. So that's the direction that things are moving in right now. It allows everybody in the foundation to be engaged on the same goals. Everything is centralized, making it easy to find, making collaboration amongst the board members very easy. We have foundations with a board of one. We have foundations with boards of, maybe a dozen or more people. So having the ability to connect in real time and talk about the foundation goals and progress for the future is very important, and Impactfully and among our other tech tools allow for that. It's just a simple view. It's a very clean, easy to read platform. I have been in touch with a lot of the people that have been involved in the making of this product. It's just very easy to use. We have a lot of older clients that have told us, hey, this is pretty simple. I can just jump on my phone or my tablet, laptop and access this, and it's not complicated. It has a donor portal, compliance tracking. So again, we're monitoring the grants coming out of the foundation. If we see an issue, we'll let you know about that. Task management, so you can assign different tasks to different family members and things like that. So again, just a very seamless, easy product to use, and we're very proud of it. Happy to set up a deeper dive into that if you'd like to see that. So just reach out to us at the end. We'll have all of our contact information. But that's Impactfully, and again, we're very happy to have that out there in the market now. And again, this is a kind of a grants management process as well. So maximizing your philanthropic impact, the ability to track where your dollars are going and what it was used for. We'll see in a little bit just a very quick sample of the reports that you can run from a foundation. So and again, it's very much the concept of making it a modern foundation. Let's talk about expenses. So as you probably know, or maybe you don't, a foundation does afford you the ability to run expenses through the foundation. So a lot of our clients like to do site visits, maybe hop on a plane and fly to the West Coast and actually meet with the charities that they're working with, shake hands and sit down and meet with them and discuss, or maybe that's even flying, internationally. The foundation can pick up those expenses. Now, behind the scenes, Foundation Source is here with our tax and legal to make sure all those expenses are compliant with all the rules and regulations, making sure that it's in pursuit of the foundation goals. So you can simply take a picture of receipts and upload it, and we will do our due diligence on the back end and handle the processing of those expenses. Tracking the MDR, which is the minimum distribution requirement for those who know that foundation does have to give out 5% of its balance per year. We're actively monitoring that behind the scenes. Our fees, by the way, go towards that 5%. So it's a fee that needs to be paid out of the foundation regardless, but we're in exchange for that, making sure everything is done the right way. So that's the technology piece to make that part of life a lot easier. And it is permitted. So again, we encourage people to go out and meet the charities and the organizations that they're working with so that they have a better idea and form deeper relationships with those organizations. And this is one example of the reporting analytics we provide. I think there's probably about 40 different reports we can run. And we actually learn from our client base. I was involved in a couple clients that came up with ideas for different reports they wanted to see, and we helped integrate those and put those on our platform and shared those with our larger client base. So for those clients that are really, some people come to us, they've been running the foundation for years, and they're really not seeing the impact of what they're doing. Are we solving the problem that we initially formed the foundation for in the first place? So the ability to look deep into where the money is going, how it's being used, tracking all that sort of data is very important to our client base. They don't want money just going out the door. They want to account for every dollar. So let's move away from technology and talk about our philanthropic expertise. So in addition to the technology, which is very important, you also have partners, live people that are here behind the scenes to support you and your family. That's led by the quarterback, which would be called a private client advisor, or PCA in our parlance. So that's the person you can pick up the phone anytime and ask a question about what's going on with your foundation. They're supported behind the scenes by philanthropic directors. And that very important team is kind of, in my mind, it's always been the cherry on top of what we provide. In addition to the minutia of cutting grants and doing taxes, the philanthropic directors are there to help you in your goals and mission of the foundation. I had mentioned before about all the different family dynamics, how to bring the next generation in, attending board meetings in some cases, and doing all those things that are important for the family, and making the foundation feel real and not just writing checks. A lot of people come to us graduating from a donor advised fund where they're writing checks, but they want to see more of an impact and be able to do more unique things. So the philanthropic director team, they are amazing in that capacity. I had mentioned our tax and legal experts, second to none, a deep bench of knowledge. This is all we do. So I had mentioned it being a white glove service. We do provide tax support, a tax service for the foundation. You do have the ability to use your own accountant if you want to. And again, it's a customized solution. But most of our clients do like to rely upon the tax experts that we have on board. They can huddle up with your personal CPA and talk about maximizing your deduction and those sort of things. So all those individuals are there behind the scenes helping you and your foundation, helping things with advanced grant making. And this is an area I think we really excel. You can cut checks to US-based 501c3s all day long. It's great. We encourage that. We like those clients that challenge us. They want to do a unique program. They want to do an international grant. They want to do a scholarship program. I had mentioned before those kind of boots on the ground things. We do have clients that are doing soup kitchens here as it gets colder on the East Coast, or doing a coat drive. So we love to help with those sort of out of the box philanthropic ideas, and also with all the technology and all the legal and tax support we have, we offer constant training and education and support anytime that you need it. So diving into that a little bit deeper, again, you have one point of contact as your dedicated advisor. This is something that's really popular too, especially for new philanthropists. It's board training. So what's the best practices for setting up a board of directors? How do we get, again, next gen involved? How often should we meet? And if we meet, should we take minutes? Doing trustee workshops. People love having access to that depth of knowledge that we have in those areas. And again, because we do have almost 3,000 clients, we've seen pretty much everything, and you can benefit from that level of knowledge that we have with different size foundations. Also, again, the tax and legal experts, non-traditional grant making, doing things like PRIs, program-related investments, where you're investing in something that could be a for-profit, not a nonprofit. And walking through what that looks like, and helping the compliance review. In my opinion, again, as a lawyer, I think this is probably the most important thing we do, making sure the foundation stays out of trouble, making sure you're meeting your MDR, you're not giving money to where it shouldn't be going. So we're constantly here to help bounce ideas off of, and making sure everything is going as it should in the foundation. And then lastly, mission alignment. So some of our clients come to us and, they're dedicated to cancer research, but they didn't realize their investment portfolio has a lot of, tobacco companies or investments in those kind of entities. So obviously they want to try to, you know, just shore that up and true that up. So we're helpful in that as well. Impact giving, that's the big thing right now, as measuring what the money is being used for. We want to solve a particular problem in society or cure a disease. Are we actually making an impact? Are we helping out in that capacity? So tracking those sort of things is something that's very important to a lot of our clients. And then lastly, a part of my colleague Elizabeth Wong in Philanthropic Advisory, she always says we're kind of a three-legged stool. So the last part of that would be our administrative services, excuse me. So we provide help, and again, live human support, backed up by the technology as well, with accounting and auditing. I mentioned we do the tax returns for most of our foundations, all the financial reporting that you might need. At our very core, we're processing grants and helping through the grant life cycle, doing all the record keeping, which is important for a foundation, processing transactions, grants management, tax returns, and proactive tax strategies. That's a very popular one as well. Again, meeting up with your personal CPA and your foundation source foundation CPA and discussing, we have a lot of clients with very unique and very complex portfolios. You might know that a foundation can hold just about any type of asset outside of cash and stocks, K1 investments. We have clients with real estate, art collections, baseball card collections, all those sort of things. So I'm maximizing how those are used within the foundation, being able to hold those complex types of assets. It's very important to them and very interesting that they can put those types of assets in the foundation. And then lastly, international giving, which is becoming more and more important, either doing it directly overseas or actually doing it through a US-based clearinghouse. The ability to give outside of the country and make an impact there is something that's very popular with a lot of our clients right now. So again, please feel free to, I have a great story about a couple of clients of mine when I was working on the West Coast. They wanted to support local artists. Well, obviously you don't get paid while you're writing the book, or one person was a graphic artist, which in my day we called comic book writers. But until you sell the thing, you're kind of living paycheck to paycheck. So they came to us and challenged us about a program of how to support that group. They didn't think it was possible, and I was very proud that our tax and legal came up with a way to get IRS approval to support those communities. We saw this during COVID with local restaurants and bars, small businesses shutting down, and our foundation clients having the ability to support those people in their community, giving them money directly to keep them on their feet. Obviously, those people are not considered 501c3 nonprofits, but you're able to do it if done the right way. And we really love the challenge of going in and making sure those things are done the right way. So in summary, we've been around for over 20 years helping foundations, and I'll leave this with you as well. So we specialize in private non-operating foundations for families and corporations. But that being said, we do have expertise with donor advised funds and CLTs, CRTs, what have you. So if you do have questions how those can work hand in hand with your foundation or prospecting, please feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to answer all those sort of questions. This is our space. This is what we live in. Some people, it's a very niche area and they don't really know the ins and outs of it, but that's what we're here for. As we mentioned, it's a network of 2,000 amazing philanthropic peers that are here trying to make a difference. And very pleased to announce that we have a 98% client retention rate. Once people are on board and we're helping them with their foundation, they choose to stay. So something we take very seriously. And with that, I will turn it back over to Heather.
Thank you, Justin. As I stated earlier, we do have a national footprint. So here is our team of directors. We have coverage all over the United States. So if you have a need and you're in one of those states, please reach out. We'd love to assist you. If you'd like to see your or your client's full giving potential and what that could look like, please reach out to Foundation Source at foundationsource.com, or you can reach us directly via phone 800-839-0054. Justin, do you have any questions that you'd like to address?
I see a couple that popped in here. We get a typical question about what our fees look like. So, it depends on a couple factors. It is asset based. So, just give you an example. And again, it'd require a deeper conversation, but at $1 million foundation, it's about $10,500 per year. That covers all of the basic service I had mentioned before. There's a one-time setup fee of $6,500. So a lot of people are surprised when they hear how affordable setting up a foundation is. So feel free to reach out to the individuals on that. I'll go back to it actually, and we can talk about specific pricing examples. Again, we have our foundations all over the map. The other question I had seen about was, I addressed this already about the timing of it. A lot of people think that it's too late in the year to do it, but it's absolutely not. There's still plenty of time to do it. Obviously, between now and the end of the year, you're not required to give anything out in the first year, and there's not a lot of time to do those sort of things, but we can actually get the foundation set up for you very quickly, so you can get the tax deduction and then, kind of hit the ground running in January. So feel free to have those discussions with us, just to kick the ball around and see if it's a potential that you might be interested in doing. And again, the minimums are, we can set up a foundation for as low as $500,000 or $250,000. But that being said, we have clients of all different asset ranges. So that was as far as the fee structure is concerned. I don't see anything else here right now, but feel free to reach out to us at any time. This, again, is recorded. We'll send that out to you. And if you have colleagues who might benefit from it, feel free to share with them. And with that, I'll say thank you so much, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you.